Good evening, welcome back. This car's back in the garage now after about 6 days of travelling the country, really, as you've seen. So, I know what you're thinking, it's episode 47 or whatever it is, and you know, how much more YouTube can you get out of getting a car ready for racing? But I promise there's one last video. So there's been some things that I've been waiting on from Caterham. In this tube we have the sticker pack, so all of the sponsored decals and the numbers, the driver numbers and all that sort of stuff, so that needs to go on. And to get that on, I need to take the passenger side impact bars off. I mean, need to is probably a strong word, but I want to give myself the best chance of not fucking it up, so I'll take the passenger bars off. Obviously the car needs clean, you know, to make sure these stickers get on properly, so I'll do a proper job of that. And there's a couple of, well, it's a stretch to call them mechanical things, but on the Coombe day we had a mock scrutineering, and the two things that were flagged on my car was a lack of duct tape up here, which I just had this crap in my tool bag. I'll probably get something that looks a bit nicer to go along there. And also, I knew about this, I've just never got around to doing it, was aluminium tape to seal around the boot floor. I think it's just like a petrol fume thing. So I'm going to get on with that tonight, get the tape job done. And then probably at the weekend, I'll give the car a good clean, get it up on axle stands and start taking bits off of it so I can put the stickers on, and then give it a final spanner check, because the next time this car sees a track, there will be championship points up for grabs, which is pretty scary. It'll be the sprint at Cobra, so no more practice now. Next time I'm in this car, you know, properly, yeah, it's the real deal. So that's the boot floor done. Not the most fun job, but painless really. So yeah, just sealing all around the edges. I'm not sure if you need to seal across the span, across the middle. Seems logical that you would. So yeah, the aluminium tape's fairly easy to work with. It kind of smudges up into all of the nooks and crannies quite nicely. So yeah, one job ticked off. Remember this? The very first extra I bought for the Caterham, and I've still not done anything with it because it comes undrilled. And I'm scared. I'm scared of triangles, I'm scared of circles, I'm scared of things where there's no, like, obvious edges. Yeah, I'm scared. So, I do have a bit of a clue, because I've got the Boss, which obviously is a great template. It's just making sure the holes are in the right position. It'll just do my head in if it's slightly wonky. So I did some Googling, and I came across, I kind of worked out just from measuring with my calipers that the let me get this right, diameter of this circle was 50 mil. That's kind of what I guesstimated at, but then I later found an article that said it was 50.8. But please do your own research. Please do not use this as a guide. This might be atrocious. I then kind of measured, to the best of my ability, the centre of this bottom, arm of the triangle, whatever you want to call it. And then I drew it comes with this indentation in the centre. So then I drew a straight line from my measured point through the middle to get me, and obviously used a compass to get the 50.8. So that, as best as I can work out, is where the top central hole goes. So my plan is to get brave, drill that, bolt this on, and adjust it so that I've got equal distances between that and that edge, and that edge. It's the only thing I can think of. I have marked where I think the other holes should be, here and here, based on fucking about with the compass, but we'll see. So I'm going to measure this about 1,000 more times just to see if I've got that hole in the middle. Oh, I hope this works. I hope it comes out straight. Right, I couldn't film any of that because it was just so stressful. So I don't know, what do you think, straight or not straight? Honestly, I keep looking at it and I keep measuring it, and the ruler keeps saying it's straight, and I keep seeing it be wonky. And I don't think this bloody Momo logo helps. They could have had a nice, symmetrical looking logo, but according to the ruler, that's straight. I don't know. But anyway, I think I'm happy with it. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Sweet. That's 4 months of stress finished. Welcome back, plus 24 hours. What did I do last night? What did I do? Oh, I did the tape last night, didn't I? And messed about with some other stuff. So tonight's job, I have taken the passenger seat out, and there it will probably stay for a while. I kept it in the car because I'd never actually taken a passenger out in this until quite very recently, and my wife hadn't been out in it. To be honest, I don't think she was that bothered, so I dragged her out at lunchtime today. We went about 4 miles. I don't think she'll be sad if she can't travel in the car again. So that's that. So yeah, I've taken the seat and the harnesses out because I'm on the larger build side for a racing car driver, which means I'm not going to get this car and myself down to minimum weight, which is 630 kilos for car and driver combined at the end of the race. So basically no fuel left. Last time I weighed the car in those conditions, it was at around 644, so about 14 kilos over. So I'm not going to get there just by removing those. I'm going to get about halfway there, but that's that. There's nothing else you can do to save weight on these cars. Obviously, I could start getting extreme and I could start taking out everything considered optional, like the side doors, the half doors could come off. You can race it with no doors on at all. Or I could take the V-Box out and just put 2 little lightweight GoPros in. There's stuff I could do. But let's face it, that's not going to make a measurable difference when you've got my skill level also in the mix. So it makes sense to have the seat out. And I'll be honest, this is a bit of a tarty reason to take the seat out. The main thing I'm now looking forward to is having some better angles for the cameras. The weight saving is a nice benefit, but I'm actually looking forward to getting this camera down here somewhere. I think that'll just give a nicer view and less impeded by the rear view mirror. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up the wiring for the V-Box now. Now that I've got this sort of space under the seat, I'm just gonna. I think CTS must have done this. Yeah, CTS put these in when I was. When they were wrapping the car, just to tidy the rearward cables up a little bit. So I'm going to continue their work and just get all of that excess wiring hidden out of the way so it's not slapping against the chassis when I'm driving around. So yeah, my job for tonight. Okay, so we're finished in here now. So I've tidied the wiring up nicely. Just hid it all out of the way really, clipped it all along the sides. Up the back, and then we now have a relocated second camera. So while I was kind of learning to drive the car, messing with the pedal box a lot, I had this camera in the pedal box for the pedal cam. The racing regulations state that we need a forward facing and a rear facing camera, so we now have those. So footage from now on will have tail cam. A delivery from Caterham. It's been a while. We finally got a mirror that's a bit of a less of a beast. So this is the one that's available on the Caterham store. I think it's like a Spa design mirror with a bracket setup they've had made up. If you can ask sort of why I didn't bother 3D printing one for there, it really is the gap between the roll cage and the windscreen. There's just nothing there. And I played with a few kind of prototype design ideas, but I wouldn't have, come up with something I was happy with. So I thought for this one, I'll just buy the ready-made one. So I need to get all your adjustment right before you lock off this little lever here. So I'm going to get rid of this beast and then play with some different positions, and then probably find that it now screws my camera position up, which I've been happy with for the past few track days. So, yeah, time to work on that again. Good morning. Welcome to outside. Time to give it a wash because I need to put my stickers on later today, and it should probably be clean before I do that. So yeah, so I'm gonna give it a wash and give it a good sort of decontamination on the tar spots and stuff. Give these stickers the best chance of adhering. You can have a snow foam shot in a second.
Dad, don't do it yet.
All right.
I'm just looking. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
What's up? All right, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's getting a bit better. Just giving it a spritz with the Iron X type stuff. Rubbed over it with a clay mitt thing, but yeah, as you'd expect, it seemed pretty free of contaminants. So I've got some panel wipe in the garage. What I'll do is just before I put the stickers on, I'll use the panel wipe just to make sure any residue from the shampoo's off, and then yeah, hopefully I don't cock it up. Once I've done the stickers, I will give it a nice coat of wax. You know, it might add some protection for when it's bouncing off walls, you never know. But yeah, looking good. Good job, Imogen.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay, clean car, stickers. So Caterham provide all these as part of the Academy package, though we only got them a few weeks ago, just while I guess the sponsors and stuff were finalised. So they send you a squeegee and some instructions for wet application. I've got had this for ages, which is just the same thing with a bit of microfiber on it, so I'll use this one just to stop me scratching anything. Panel wipe. So I think I'm going to give the nose cone a try first. There's a driver number that goes here. Caterham give you very detailed positioning instructions for all of the labels. It's quite strict, so you shouldn't really get the positioning wrong. And I just want to get this number square done first, because it's the only one really that I think is mounted onto like a curved panel. So it's the one I suspect I'll screw up. So let's give it a go. Oh yeah, and as I said, I'll be wet applying it with just a bit of soapy solution there. So yeah, wish me luck. Okay, I'm not sure if I enjoyed that. I've got this tape on here because I was having trouble getting this front leading edge to stay down. It was just trying to arch over the gap between the vinyl stripes that I've got. So I'm going to leave that overnight, I think, with that tape down, just see if that helps at all. But other than that, you know, the stripe was, okay, it was annoying down there, but it was convenient for measuring the centre point up there. Obviously, I'm making assumptions that the stripe's central, but it seems to be. And yeah, just wet applying it was fine. There's a few little pimples under it. Just like, I peeled it off a few times, and you just, these microscopic bits of dust that I guess are just in the air. This just isn't the nicest environment, I suppose, for doing this sort of thing. But I think it's okay. I think that's passable. So I don't really have time to do any more tonight. So I'll come back in and do some more tomorrow. We'll see what state this is in. Right, I've done way more than I thought I would do tonight. The nose cone took absolutely ages, and I still wasn't that happy with it. As you can see, I've still got it pinned down. This is a few hours after I did it. I'm going to leave that overnight just to make sure this leading edge is stuck down. But the rest of them, because they're on pretty much flat surfaces, they're absolute doddle to put on. I mentioned earlier on this video, I think, about taking the side impact bars off. Just no need. Just with the solution on there, you can just slide it in behind, get the squeegee behind it, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, I've put everything on with the exception of the actual numbers. Done this side as well. There's a couple missing. There's the Race for Dementia and some other one, I can't remember which one it is, missing. Caterham, I'm going to send these out. Got my novice sticker on, or dartboard, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really happy with that, except for that slow start on the nose cone. That was actually quite an enjoyable job. I've got a few others that I never did on the build because I was waiting to figure out what the overall layout would look like, so I wasn't putting a sticker somewhere that would end up being occupied space. But you know, fire extinguisher, cut-off switch things, and the toe strap identifiers and stuff like that. So I'm going to do those tomorrow. I think I'm not bothered about that now. The big decision and planning I now need to make is what to do with the numbers, because I am car number 19. That doesn't look right. If I just put them flush like that, that would be easiest, but it doesn't look right to me. Do I have the centre line of the number board be the centre line between the letters, or do I two numbers, sorry, or if it's going to be spaced like that, do I have the centre point, the cumulative centre of them? Yeah, I'm not sure what to do yet, so I'm going to sleep on it before I put those on. Maybe just check a load of photos out, see what other people do. But it should be fairly easy to mark a centre point, both on the X and Y axis of the number boards. I just need to decide what I want my spacing to look like. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Productive night. Okay, so my plan for the numbers, well, it's not a plan, I've done it now on the other two. This is the last one. Basically, it measured, I kind of mocked them up for ages, did a load of measuring, and what I figured out was I wanted the top of the numbers to be flush with a 1 inch gap from here. That leaves a 1 inch gap to the lettering, so that centres them vertically, and then a 60mm gap into the end of the trailing end of the 9, and a 60 again to the leading edge of the 1, and then I'm happy with how that looks, which you will see any second now. So there we go. Shame my race number 61 though.